Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Hey Gurudev, yesterday we were revising Tattva Bodh, so we'll continue with Tattva Bodh revision today and then go back to Gita. So we stopped at the kosha level. Pancha kosha hai ke अन्नमय प्राणमय मनोमय विज्ञानमय आनंदमयश्चेति. अन्नमयः कः? अन्नरसेनैव भूत्वा अन्नरसेनैव वृद्धिं प्राप्य अन्नरूपपृथिव्यां यद्विलीयते तद् अन्नमयः कोशः स्थूलशरीरम्. So, what is Annamaya Kosha? The Annamaya is constituted of the physical body, which is born of food, grows to size through food, and returns back to the earth, which is a form of food. Just 1 second. Pranamaya kaha? Pranadhyah panchavayavaha vagadindriyam panchakam pranamaya koshaha. What is pranamaya? The 5 vital airs like prana, etc., and the sense organs like speech, etc., form the pranamaya kosha. Manomaya kosha kaha? Manascha jnanendriya panchakam militva yo bhavati sa manomaya kosha. The manomaya kosha consists of manas, mind, in association with the 5 sense organs. So in pranamaya kosha, you have the organs of action, whereas manomaya kosha is mind with the sense organs. Vijnanamaya kaha? Buddhi jnanendriya panchakam militva yo bhavati sa vijnanamaya kosha. The vijnanamaya kosha consists of the buddhi, the discerning faculty, in association with the 5 sense organs. आनंदमयः कः? एवमेव कारणशरीरभूता अविद्यास्तमलिनसत्त्वं प्रियादिवृत्तिसहितं सत् Anandamaya Koshaha. Anandamaya Kosha consists of impure sattva. That is ethereal, rooted in avidya based causal body, in association with varying degrees of feelings like fondness, joy, and ecstasy. So this is where we touch when we meditate. We are in the Anandamaya Kosha, but it is still based on the causal body, which is why we come back again to our previous state of avidya. So Anandamaya kaha evameva karana sharira bhuta avidyasta malina sattvam priyadi vritti sahitam sat Anandamaya koshaha. It consists of impure sat. Malina sattvam. See, that's that impure sattva. Impure, why? Because of the ignorance, which is rooted in avidya-based causal body. Etat kosha panchakam. This completes the 5 koshas. Panchakoshatitaha, beyond the 5 senses. Madiyam shariram, madiyaha pranaha, madiyam manascha, madiya buddhihi, madiyam ajnanamiti, svenaiva jnayate, tadyatha, madiyatvena jnatam, kataka kundala grihadikam, स्वस्माद् भिन्नं तथा पंचकोशादिकं स्वस्माद् भिन्नं मदीयत्वेन ज्ञातमात्वा न भवति. Things related to me are all known by me. Example, my body, my pranas, my manas, my buddhi, and my ajnanam. As a rule, things possessed by me, like my waistband, earrings, house, etc., are known to be different from me. Similarly, the 5 koshas that are well known as belonging to me cannot be my nature. What simple logic, and it's so profound. Which is why, although meditation is very, very important as part of our sadhana, the experience you have when you meditate is only a state of samadhi. It is not a state of enlightenment. Why? Because that is also part of the koshas, Anandamaya kosha. So when we are able to stabilize in that state throughout 24/7, 365 days a year, then that is how an enlightened person is. But we are in it for about 20 minutes that we meditate. For a few, even in the 20 minutes, maybe for a few fraction of a second, for a few minutes, we don't know for how long we are in that state. Yeah. So, Atma tarhikaha Sachidananda Swarupaha. If so, what is Atma? It is the nature of Satchid Ananda. Sat kim kalatraye pitishtati iti sat. Sat or reality is that which exists in all 3 periods of time, past, present, and future. Chit kim jnanaswarupaha. Chit, it is one's own conscious nature. Anandah kaha sukhaswarupaha. Ananda, it is one's pleased nature. Evam Sachidananda Swarupam Swatmanam Vijaniyat. Thus, may one know the Satchit Ananda nature to be one's own self. Jagat now. Atha Chaturvimshati Tattvotpatti Prakaram Vakshama. Now we are going to speak of the origin of creation in its 24 aspects. Brahmashraya Sattva-Rajas-Tamo Gunatmika Maya Asti. Maya with its three gunas, constituents, that is Sattva, cognition, Rajas, effort, and Tamas, inertia, exists as dependent on Brahman, the ultimate reality. Tatah Akasha Sambhutah, Akashat Vayuh, Vayos Tejah, Tejas Apah, Adbhyah Prithivi. Akasha, the space element, originated from that Brahman. From Akasha originated Vayu, the air element. From Vayu arose Tejas, the fire element. From Tejas came Apa, the water element. From Apa came Prithvi, the earth element. So I'll repeat these two again. Brahmashraya Sattva-Rajas Tamo Gunatmika Maya Asti. Tatah Akasha Sambhutah. Akashat Vayuh. Vayos Tejah. Tejasapah. Adbhyah Prithivi. Etesham Panchatattvanam. How does the sattvic aspect evolve? Etesham Panchatattvanam Madhye Akashasya Sattvikamshat Shrotrendriyam Sambhutam. Vayoh Sattvikamshat Tvagendriyam Sambhutam. Agnehe Sattvikamshat Chakshurindriyam Sambhutam. Jalasya Sattvikamshat Rasanendriyam Sambhutam. Prithivyaha Sattvikamshat Granendriyam Sambhutam. From among the sattva aspect of these five elements, the sattva aspect of space gave rise to the organ of hearing. See, that is why Shabda Brahma, the Pramana is Shabda, that is closest to Brahman. That is why Veda is the Pramana, Vedanta is the Pramana. Because that is the closest to Brahman. From the sattva aspect of air emerged the organ of touch. And from the sattva aspect of fire arose the organ of sight. From the sattva aspect of water emerged the organ of taste. And from the sattva aspect of earth arose the organ of smell. I think once we had this doubt, someone had this doubt about, can a deaf person gain enlightenment? Because he's not able to hear. But he's able to see and read, right? So if he is a mumukshu, he can of course gain enlightenment. Enlightenment is the birthright of everyone. There is nobody who is denied enlightenment, provided one pursues it, one puts in that prayatna, the purushartha. Etesham panchatattvanam samishti sattvikamshat manobuddhyahankara chittantah karanani sambhutani. So, from the combined sattva aspects of these five elements emerged the antakarana, inner instrument consisting of manas, buddhi, ahankara, and chitta. Sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha, nischayatmika buddhi. Manas is of a vacillating nature, carried away by the pros and cons of situations. Buddhi has the nature of being decisive. Ahankarta ahankara. Chintanakartru chittam. Ahankara involves doership, as in, I am the agent of action. The faculty responsible for contemplation is chitta. Manaso devata chandramaha. Buddhehe brahma. Ahankarasya rudraha. Chittasya vasudevaha. The presiding devata of Manas is Chandrama, the moon. The devata of Buddhi is Brahma, the firstborn. The Devata of Ahankara is Rudra, and the Devata of Chitta is Vasudeva. Evolution of the Rajas aspect. एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां मध्ये आकाशस्य राजसांशात् वागीन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, वायोः राजसांशात् पाणीन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, वह्नेः राजसांशात् पादेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, जलस्य राजसांशात् उपस्थेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, पृथिव्याः राजसांशात् गुदेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्. From among the five elements, the rajas aspect of space gave rise to the speech organ. From the rajas aspect of air emerged the hand. From rajas aspect of fire arose the foot. From rajas aspect of water emerged the genital organ. And from the rajas aspect of earth arose the excretory organ. It's so scientific and so beautiful, the way it is categorized, all of this. एतेषां समिष्टि राजसांशात् पंचप्राणाः सम्भूताः. From the combined rajas aspect of the five elements originated the five pranas. Now, evolution of the tamas aspect. See, prana is something that moves, that there is that flow. That is what is prana, right? So, anything that is, so rajas, the very quality which brings in activity, movement. That is why you have all the organs of action and then the pancha pranas coming out from the rajas aspect. So individual rajas aspect, you have the individual organs of action. And then from the samishti rajasamshat, you have the five pranas from all of the rajas aspects. Etesham panchatattvanam tamasamshat panchikrita panchatatvani bhavanti. So what we see gross as air, space, fire, water, and earth, the gross elements, this is the result of the Panchikarana. After Panchikarana, we're able to see them. But the sattvic and rajasic aspects of the five great elements are not visible to us. Only what is created out of them is visible, is known to us. Panchikarana katham iti chet etesham panchamahabhutanam tamasamshasvarupam ekam ekam bhutam dvida vibhajya ekam ekam ardham prithak तूष्णीं व्यवस्थाप्य अपरम परमर्थम चतुर्धाम विभज्य स्वाधर्मन्येषु अर्धेषु स्वभाग चतुष्टय संयोजनम कार्यम. How does Panchikarana occur? The tamas aspect of each of the five elements divides into two equal parts. While the first part of each is left intact, the second half further subdivides into four equal parts. Each of the four subdivided parts recombines with the first half of the other four elements, respectively. So there is an element of space. There is not just the element of space is there in all the five gross elements that we see. Similarly, element of water, air, fire, earth is there in all of the gross creation, in the gross five elements. Tada panchikaranam bhavati. Thus panchikarana, the five-way division and mutual recombination is effected. The reconstituted element retains its own major half plus one subdivided part, each taken from the other four elements. Consequently, each element is constituted of an admixture of all five elements. Etebhyah panchikrita panchamahabhutebhyah sthula shariram bhavati. From these five reconstituted elements, the physical body is born. Evam pinda brahmandayoraikyam sambhutam. In this way, the individual and the cosmic creation emerge from the five elements. So the connect between the macrocosm and the microcosm. Pinda brahmandayoraikyam. So that's the connect between the pinda and the brahmanda. Jiva and Ishvara. Sthula Sharirabhimani Jivanamakam Brahma Pratibhimbam Bhavati. The Jiva, individual conscious self, who identifies with the physical body, is actually the reflection of Brahma, universal consciousness. Sa eva jivaha prakritya swasmat ishwaram bhinnatvena janati. This Jiva indeed believes that Ishvara, the source of creation, to be basically different from himself. Why? Because of the effect of avidya. Avidyopadihi san atma jiva ityuchyate. The atma reflected in the avidya adjunct is known as jiva. Mayopadihi san ishvaraha ityuchyate. The same when reflected in the maya adjunct is called ishvara. एवं उपाधि भेदात् जीवेश्वर भेद दृष्टिः यावत् पर्यन्तं तिष्ठति तावत् पर्यन्तं जन्म मरणादि रूप संसारो न निवर्तते. Thus, as long as one believes that Jiva and Ishvara are different, a mistaken belief that occurs based on difference in adjuncts, samsara, that is, phenomenal existence of change and dependence, characterized by birth and death, does not cease. As long as there is this bheda, samsara exists.
Can you read that one more time, Dr. Rama?
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, evam upadhi bhedat जीवेश्वर भेद दृष्टिः यावत् पर्यन्तं तिष्ठति तावत् पर्यन्तं जन्म मरणादि रूप संसारो न निवर्तते. Thus, as long as one believes that Jiva and Ishvara are different, a mistaken belief that occurs based on difference in adjuncts, samsara, that is the phenomenal existence of change and dependence. That is what samsara is. It's constantly changing. And it is dependent. Samsara is not independently existing. It is dependent on Brahma. Characterized by birth and death, does not cease. So as long as this difference exists between, you see yourself different from Ishvara, samsara will continue. With its what? The main thing is the birth and death. It continues, that cycle continues. Which is why moksha and liberation, freedom is what? Freedom from this cycle. Tasmat karanat na jiveshwarayor bheda buddhihi svikarya. Hence, one should not subscribe to the belief in difference between Ishvara and Jiva. That is why Advaita Sampradaya is important. See, this is Tattva Bodh, which is a preparatory text that is given by Adi Shankaracharya. He was a proponent of Advaita. So, as long as you see the difference, then your samsara will continue. And that is why it is given as a dictum. You should not subscribe to the belief of the difference between Jiva and Ishvara. Nanu sahankarasya kinchigyasya jivasya nirahankarasya sarvajnasya ishvarasya tattvamasiti mahavakyat kathama bheda buddhihi syad ubhayoho viruddha dharmakrantatvat. Doubt. How can the words of Upanishads like Tattvamasi give rise to knowledge of oneness between the Jiva and Ishvara? The two possess mutually contradictory properties. The former is characterized by ego and ignorance, whereas the latter is free from ego and is omniscient. Former is the Jiva, and latter is Ishvara. So how can we connect with the Upanishad Vakya Tattvamasi? Is the doubt, right? Iti chenna स्थूल सूक्ष्म शरीराभिमानी त्वं पद वाच्यार्थः उपाधि विनिर्मुक्तं समाधि समाधिशा समाधि दशा संपन्नं शुद्धं चैतन्यं त्वं पद लक्ष्यार्थः. Answer is, so if this is the doubt that has come up, answer is no. So the word tvam in the sentence tattvamasi literally denotes the self who is mistakenly identified with the physical and subtle bodies. But the implied meaning of the word tvam indicated the self that is pure awareness, free from these adjuncts, as seen in the state of samadhi, self-knowledge. So I'll read this one more time. So what is the doubt? It is nanu sahankarasya. Nanu is that doubt. Sahankarasya kinchigyasya jivasya nirahankarasya sarvajnasya ishvarasya tatvamasiti mahavakyat kathama beda buddhihi syadubayohu viruddha dharma krantatvat. So the doubt is, how can the words of Upanishad like Tattvamasi give rise to knowledge of oneness between the Jiva and Ishvara? The two possess mutually contradictory properties. The former is characterized by ego and ignorance, whereas the latter is free from ego and is omniscient. So how do we connect the two? Is the doubt, natural doubt. The answer is iti chet na. Chain na is, there's a double na, so chet plus na, that sandhi becomes chain na. Sthula sharirabhimani tvam pada vachyartha. Upadhi vinirmuktam samadhi dasha sampannam shuddham chaitanyam tvam pada lakshyartha. The answer is no. So, how is it not? The word tvam in the sentence tattvamasi literally denotes the self who is mistakenly identified with the physical and subtle bodies. So that's the literal meaning, that tvam is the misidentified you. But the implied meaning of the word tvam, that implied meaning of the word you, is indicated the self that is pure awareness, free from these adjuncts, as seen in the state of samadhi, self-knowledge. But whereas the implied meaning of tvam is that pure self. Evam sarvajnatvat divi shishta ishvaraha tatpada vachyartaha upadishunyam shuddham chaitanyam tvam tatpada lakshyartaha. Similarly, the literal word meaning of tvam it's not tvam, it should be tat. I think it's a typo error here. Tvam is you, tat is that, no? So I think it is tat. It is tatpada vachyartaha. This is tat. So I suppose this has to be replaced by tat. Similarly, the literal word meaning of tat in the sentence tattvamasi denotes Ishvara, endowed with qualities like omniscience, etc. But the implied meaning of tat refers to the adjunct free, pure awareness alone. Evam, I'll repeat this again. Evam sarvajnatvat divishishta ishvaraha tatpada varchartaha. Upadishunyam shuddha chaitanyam tatpada lakshartha. Similarly, the literal word meaning of tat in the sentence tatvamasi denotes Ishvara, endowed with qualities like omniscience, etc. But the implied meaning of tat refers to the adjunct free, pure awareness alone.
So, that's meaning that, right? That
Correct.
that is like the Brahman.
Right.
You and the Brahman are the same. So the Tvam is like you. Mm.
Tvam is you, that
Yeah.
thou art, right? So
Yeah.
that is this entity called Ishvara.
The
That's
same.
the literal meaning. See, that is
Right.
why, see, the
Mm.
literal meaning is that one who has omniscience, that all-knowing, Sarvajna,
Yeah.
who has got the Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Ichha Shakti. So that is the Ishvara. And
Mm-hmm.
the whole Jagat is created out of him. So basically, that is only the literal meaning. Whereas what is the implied meaning of Tat? Implied meaning is pure awareness.
Mm.
So Brahma, along with the quality of Maya, is Ishvara. That is
Mm.
why the whole creation, you can say, is just mithya,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But removing that aspect of Maya, once that Maya covering is removed,
Mm.
then what remains is that Shuddha Chaitanya, pure awareness, which is
Mm-hmm.
the implied meaning of Tat. It's the implied meaning of Tvam.
So, mm.
See, the Tvam indicated, the literal meaning, implied meaning of word Tvam indicated the self that is pure awareness.
Right.
So when you look at those two, Tattvam, you're looking at the implied meanings, they are the same. Literally, they may be different.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, Tvam is what? The self, the limited self identified with the body, mind, equipment.
Mm.
Whereas the literal meaning of Tat is Ishvara, with
Mm-hmm.
the qualities of omniscience, quality of creation, quality of the capacity to create. But actually, is there any creation that's happening?
No.
Actually, no. What exists is just that Shuddha Chaitanya,
Yeah.
right? Evam cha Jiveshwarayoho Chaitanya Rupena Bhede Badhaka Bhavaha. Hence, there is no obstacle to the knowledge of oneness between the pure consciousness that is the real nature of both Ishvara and Jiva. So, what is just that pure consciousness.
Mm.
Evam sa Jiveshwarayo Chaitanya Rupena Bhede Padaka Bhavaha.
Mm-hmm. That's so nice. There's no obstacle to the
There
knowledge.
is no obstacle.
It's
Hence, so what is the only
beautiful also.
obstacle? Is this little mind.
Right.
Mind. That is the only.
Just tear it down, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Just
God.
befriend it. Once you befriend the mind and
Yeah.
take it under your, it
Mhm.
should be under your, um,
We have to all become
handle it.
Sankaracharya.
Yeah. I wouldn't even use the word control over here because that's not possible.
Yeah.
Because the
It's just that,
Prakriti itself.
like how he, uh, that Nirvana Shatakam, right? And he said all
Mm,
that,
Manu,
it's, Mano, Buddhi, Hankara, everything, no, 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 like that, which is what this whole,
Shivoham, Shivoham.
yeah. Mm.
That is it. That's the only truth.
The oneness between the pure consciousness that is
Mm.
real nature of both Ishvara and Jiva. So that the earlier you read that we have that avidya as an adjunct and the maya as an adjunct for Ishvara, for Jiva.
Yeah, yeah.
Avidya as an adjunct. That's what
Sum total of individual avidya is Maya. Whereas, isn't it? See, individually we are born as Jiva. You're born as Dr. Mara. I'm born as Brahma. Someone else is
yeah,
born. So we're all are
individual.
born with that layer of avidya.
Mm,
That is the Jiva, individual Jivas.
right.
Whereas when you take the sum total of all the avidyas, that becomes
Mm,
Maya. Samishti
mm,
avidya becomes Maya. And that is
oh,
what is the creator, Ishvara.
mm, mm, mm,
He
mm,
uses Maya, but the only difference, that's we're coming to, I think. We come to the Maya Pati and Maya Dasa over there.
mm.
So, Jivan Mukta. Evam cha Vedanta Vakyaihi Sadgurupadeshena cha Sarveshvapi Bhuteshu Esham Brahma Buddhirutpanna Te Jivan Muktaha Ityarthaha. In this way, those who gain the vision of Brahman in all beings by the words of Vedanta and the teachings of the Guru become Jivan Muktas, liberated even when alive. So, see, there are a few things to note. One is through the words of Vedanta and the teachings of the Guru. So, Shankaracharya has given a lot of importance to the Shastra as well as words of the Guru. Nanu Jivan Muktaha Kaha. It takes me back to this young boy who called me some few days back, talking about, he was really a mumukshu. He says, I really very intensely putting my effort in there. And he could feel this splurge of energy. And he says, there is electricity I can feel. There is the static electricity coming up from my ears, my head, my hands. So you need some guru to direct you. Alone, if you practice all of this, that's what Gurudev also said. If people can get, misdirected. You need a guru to guide you through it gently. So it does not affect one adversely. Yeah. Nanu Jivan Muktaha Kaha. Question: who is the Jivan Mukta? Yatha Dehoham Purushoham Brahmanoham Shudroham Asmiti Dridanischayah Tatha Naham Brahmanah Na Shudrah Na Purushah Kintu Asangah Sachidananda Swarupah Prakasha Rupah Sarvantaryami Chidakasha Rupo Asmiti Dridanischaya Rupo Paroksha Jnanavan Jivan Muktaha.
Wow, so beautiful. Wow.
Right? Just as a layman firmly believes that I am the body, I am a person, I am Brahmana, or I am a Shudra, etc., the Jivan Mukta firmly recognizes that I am not a Brahmana or a Shudra or a person. Rather, I am the nature of unassociated Satchit Ananda. I am effulgent in form, manifest in all beings and consciousness without limits. Thus, the Jivan Mukta has the direct knowledge of the Atma. So, I will read this one more time. Yatha dehoham, purushoham, brahmanoham, shudroham asmiti, dridanischayah, tatha naham brahmanah, na shudrah, na purushah, kintu asangah, sachidananda swarupah, prakasha rupah, sarvantaryami, chidakasha rupo asmiti, dridanischaya rupo, rupo aparoksha jnanavan, Jivan Muktaha. So the Jivan Mukta is the one that has the direct knowledge of the Atma. We all have an indirect knowledge of Atma. We all have learned Nirvana Shatkam. We're doing the Tattva Bodh. We're learning Bhagavad Gita, but we only have an indirect concept of Atma. Once that translates into a direct knowledge, that is when we all become Jivan Muktas. Freedom from bondage. Brahmaivahamasmiti aparoksha jnanena nikhila karma bandha vinirmuktaha syat. By the direct knowledge that I am indeed Brahman, the jnani, knower, becomes liberated from all bondage of karma. Karmani katividhani santi iti ched. How many types of karma are there? Agami sanchita prarabdha bedena trividhani santi. There are three types of karma: Agami, Sanchita, and Prarabdha. Jnanotpatyanantaram jnani deha kritam punya papa rupam karma yadasti tad agamityabhidhiyate. After acquiring self-knowledge, the actions that the jnani does as an individual may result in subsequent punya or papa karmas. These karmas are called as agami karmas, future karmas resulting from present activity. Sanchitam karma kim? What is sanchita karma? Ananta koti janmanam bija bhutam sat yat karma jatam purvarjitam tishtati tat sanchitam jneyam. The karmas that are earned from past lives that exist in seed form over countless number of lifetimes are known as sanchita karma. Prarabdham karma kimiti chet. Question: what is prarabdha karma? Idam shariram utpadya ihaloke evam sukhadukkhadi pradam yat karma tat prarabdham bhogena nashtam bhavati. Prarabdha karmanam bhogadeva kshaya iti. The karmas which are responsible for this body in this world and generate experiences of joy and sorrow are prarabdha karmas. These karmas get destroyed by living through experiences of joy and sorrow, since that is the only way to exhaust prarabdha karmas. Sanchitam karma brahmaivahamiti nischayatmaka jnanena nashyati. Sanchita karma gets destroyed by the ascertained knowledge that I am indeed Brahman. Agami karma api jnanena nashyati. Kincha agami karmanam nalini dalagata jalavat jnaninam sambandho nasti. Agami karma too get destroyed by knowledge. Again, the agami karma is part of appearance, not reality. Hence, it is not associated with the jnani. Just as the lotus leaf is not wet by the water in which it grows. Because see, agami karma is part of appearance, it's not reality. So all karma is part of what? Is all mithya. Whereas a jnani is beyond that. He is Satchidananda Swarupa, Ahamiti. Aham Brahmasmi, he is in that state. So he does not associate with the agami karma. A Jivan Mukta is a person living liberated, continues to act. And because every action has a result, the results of the punya and so-called papa karmas that the jnani, the Jivan Mukta does, accrue, they form the agami karma. But is he affected by that karma? Just like the lotus leaf is not wet by the water in which it is, the jnani is left untouched. But that agami karma has to have some person taking it, right? So that is what is explained next. Kincha ye jnaninam stuvanti, bhajanti, archayanti, tan prati jnani kritam agami punyam gacchati. Also, the jnani's agami punya karmas pass on to those who praise the jnani, seek him, and worship him. Ye jnaninam nindanti, dvishanti, dukkha pradanam kurvanti, tan prati jnani kritam, sarvamagami kriyamanam, yad vachyam karma, papatmakam tad gacchati. Those who censure the jnani, hate or trouble him, partake of the censurable agami papa karmas done by the jnani. Tatha cha atmavid samsaram tirtva brahmanandamihaiva prapnoti. Thus, the knower of Atma crosses over samsara, that is the phenomenal existence of birth and death, and gains ananda, fullness of Brahman in this very life. Tarati shokamatmavit iti shrutehe. There is a quotation from the scripture to this effect. The knower of the self crosses over sorrow. Nanu tanum tyajatu va kashyam shvapachasya grihe tava jnana samprapti samaye muktasau vigatashayaha iti smritescha. The smriti supporting texts to say the jnani may die in Kashi or in a dog eater's home, yet there is no doubt that the person is liberated at the same moment that knowledge arises. Iti Tattvabodha Prakaranam Samaptam. Thus the topic Tattvabodha is concluded. That is it.
The Jiva is Brahma, like that was in that universe part, right? That was.
See, all aspects are touched upon in Tattvabodha, right?
Yeah.
Starting from the lakshanas, the qualities of a mumukshu. Sadhana
Sadhana
chatushtayam, starting from that.
Right.
Starting from that, all
Yeah.
the creation, what is the mind, what is the buddhi, what are the 5 great elements, all the sadhana chatushtayam, all of that is explained.
Yeah.
And then the whole creation of the universe and the aspect of karma, and also the Brahma, the what is Mahavakya, Tvamasi,
Yeah.
Mahavakya. So if you look at it, it's a complete text in itself.
Yeah, it's actually the whatever Upanishad is telling is going to tell you it's given here. I mean, to understand all the important things are given, how the world is created, and get a there was some we read this so many times, but again I tell you we keep saying this again and again. Whenever we read, there is something new hits your head.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. The Pancha Pranas, they didn't go elaborately in this, but it is also that Karmendriyas in the Rajasic aspect. So we have to remember, in the Rajasic aspect, part of it is Karmendriyas and Pancha Pranas.
Yeah. So this Agami karma, all of us also have Agami karma. Whatever punya papa we do, that
Agami karma is like the one we are going to do, or is it, what is Agami karma?
Agami karma is the
I thought it is in the future.
It's in the future, of course. Whatever actions we do now, The results thereof that accrue later, that is agami karma.
Oh, so whatever is
Karma is
okay.
that we have done in lifetimes that is still there as bank balance. So this agami is
Sanchita.
feeding the bank balance. Prarabdha is you're taking away. You're like encashing. You're going to the bank and encashing some amount. So in this lifetime, we have encashed this much of prarabdha. So this prarabdha that we have, it is there are the results of the action done in the previous lives that we have encashed in this life produce both joy and sorrow. That is why our lives are ups and downs. We have to go through them. The only way we can go through the prarabdha can be exhausted is to go through that. That is why they say prarabdham bhogena nashtam bhavati. You have
So
to run.
whatever that is part of the Sanchita karma, whatever we accumulated, we are getting rid of it in the prarabdha karma. In the
Yeah, but
prarabdha.
we are again feeding into it through agam. No? So
Right.
that
That's why I'm
Gita,
thinking, yeah, it's not like only that
mm,
part is going away, but still you kind of accumulating something else.
mm, that is why
Okay.
the cycle of samsara continues.
Continuous.
So
There's
how can
two
that be exhausted? How can that be cut,
with the
nipped in the
knowledge.
bud
Mm.
through knowledge? That is why the jnani, he does, the Jivan Mukta as a jnani, is still doing some actions, right? So
Mm.
the results of his actions are accrued as agami. And those people who praise him, who revere him, respect him, they will
Mm.
get the agami punya karma,
Punya
the
karma.
punya karma
For
that
the
he has.
guru bala, guru
So,
taking care of guru.
yeah, those that are hating him and those that hate him and humiliate
Uh,
him,
right.
respect, they get, in
Disrespect. Yeah.
case he does, usually he does not, but
Mm.
in case there is some papa karma that is accrued, that
That
comes.
goes to that person.
How is the jnani? The agami does not affect him. He's like the lotus leaf. So
Right.
no karma touches him. Actually, he's beyond karma.
Mm. So that when you read the Jivan Ishvara, right, that one, the definition was really caught my thing. I mean, which is Stula Sarira Abhimani
Jivanamakam.
Jivanamakam Brahma Pratibimbam Bhavati.
Mm,
So we identify with the physical body is actually the reflection of Brahma.
mm.
So we are the reflection of Brahma, universal consciousness. You know, in these two sentences, they gave the whole thing,
Mm.
right? The
That's
Jiva
why
indeed believes that Ishvara, the source of creation, to be basically different from himself. The next sentence is not good. This one is really important. The
mm,
Jiva who identifies with the physical body is actually the reflection of Brahma.
that is why Shankaracharya gave the whole essence of Vedanta in just one sentence.
Yeah.
Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha.
Jiva Brahmaiva Naparaga.
He's none other than Brahma. He's
Brahma.
not different from Brahma.
Yeah, when we say Jiva, we are identifying with our body all the time.
Mm.
That is the fundamental problem.
That is the literal meaning, whereas
Mm,
implied meaning is what? Implied meaning is Shuddha Chaitanyam, that
yeah,
pure consciousness.
pure consciousness. So the individual conscious self and the universal consciousness is the
Yeah,
same. So the individual conscious self, the universal consciousness. See, when it's Sukshman, we are not seeing, given this, all these senses and all problem, gone into this mode. So that's why you have to close your eyes and meditate, all the senses closed.
mm.
that you have to really internalize yourself. Sometimes when we say meditation, we don't pay attention to all this. Let loose, like, Gurudev always says, it just had to happen. You don't have to make it happen. Like, oh my God. So that one thing is we have to remember this.
So that is why, coming back to fourth chapter where we left, we talked about the three realities:
Yeah.
Paramarthika, Vyavaharika, and Pratibhasika.
Paramarthika. Say that again. Paramatmika,
Paramarthika, Vyavaharika, and
Vyavaharika, and
Pratibhasika.
Pratibhasika.
So Paramarthika Satya is this Brahman, Satchidananda Swarupa, pure consciousness.
Right.
Vyavaharika is the whole cosmos.
Empirical reality.
And Pratibhasika is an offshoot of individual minds. It's that subjective reality.
Subjective reality. So the three realities, what happened after that? I know.
So the jiva that is born of karma.
Yeah, right.
Is bound by
Yes,
karma. And also by avidya. That is why he's not able to understand. Whereas Paramarthika is the one who is, this is all because Krishna said in this verse, from my own power of Maya, I have come into existence. So they were explaining, the whole thing was about the Avatara Vada, about how the concept of Avatara is.
Right.
So keeping Maya in his control, Krishna as though takes a body. See, that is why this Agami, for him, it does not. He is not governed by karma. He's not come with a prarabdha karma.
Prarabdha karma, right.
He's karma tita. He's like the jnani that we just read in Tattva Bodh. Nalini dalagat jalavat. Agami, it doesn't have any effect on him. But the other people, like yes, there's some, I think Rinal had asked the question about how come then he went through also ups and downs, no? So it was actually not his ups and downs. He was involved in others' ups and downs. Like his presence was there in order to redeem them of their curse, redeem them of whatever. So he was left untouched. That is why he's an embodiment of joy and wisdom.
Yeah.
Now, right. So we'll stop here today. Tomorrow we'll continue with our chapter. Maybe we'll go verse 6 one more time. 6 we've gone through about 2-3 times now. I think we'll go through 4th time also, and then go to Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham.
Wow. This is a famous verse, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay, so Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev. So before we close, just wanted to remind you that message I sent about Percy's thing, because his son is still in the hospital and is in the ICU, and you know how ICU charges are skyrocketing. So, when I messaged him and he said, this is the first time I've actually written to the ashram about this. I've not reached out. He's actually sold all his whatever little savings he's had, all that is finished. So that is when I said this is the time when we will all collectively can do whatever little that we can do
Right.
to ease out his situation. So if anyone is able to donate, please go ahead and do that. Okay.
So directly to that account, or should
Yeah,
I?
directly to that account. I mean, that's his account. So
Hmm.
if you're able to transfer, you can do that.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Hmm.
Jai Gurudev. Little drops of water make a mighty ocean. So whatever little that we can donate will pool up and then will help
Yeah,
in your
definitely will help. Yeah.
Jai Gurudev.